Today is Sunday, June 28th, 2020. And today we are playing with a Thinkpad, and it is a decked out machine. It has the motherboard from a T43P inside. This is a machine that I picked up, wow, this is a long time ago. We've got a copyright from 2005, and then the production was in February of 2006, or at least for the chassis. And I've got a number of these T42 style machines. This one's running OpenSense, and it's it's running DHCP, DNS, and router bits for my home network. And then I've got another one. Let's see. Yeah. This is my dad's old laptop. I haven't found an idea how to use that yet. So anyway, I thought we would just, take a look. And we're gonna, let this boot up. Oh yeah. So this is a screamer of a machine. It's a Pentium M processor, 1.8 gigahertz, with 1 gig of RAM. Because it's a T43, it actually has a slightly different setup. It's got a Broadcom gigabit Ethernet network adapter, and it has a different type of graphics processor display adapter. Yeah, so it's got the ATI Mobility Radeon X300, which is like a super fast video card at the time in these devices. I can play old titles such as Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. I guess it doesn't like a virtual disk. Fortunately, I've got the real one. Authentica. Wow. I haven't pulled this out in a long time. This is like my childhood. Oh, the beeping is the keyboard. And we got other gems like Army Men, Simcopter, Need for Speed. Oh, that was a game. Streets of Sim City. Is this a real disc? I don't know what that is. I don't know where my real Streets of Sim City is, but I bought it at Job Lot, so I know I have one. Cool Edit, which no one bought. Thank you, Peter Questegard. Red Alert, and Juno. So the question remains, aside from being a retro gaming PC, what else can this old hardware accomplish for us? Is it even capable of running a modern-day operating system? Well, let's find out. So, I'm going to install this SSD, and to do that, I will be taking out the DVD CD drive and installing this little guy right here. And so that will allow a SATA drive to work inside this system, because I'll take the hard drive out. Ooh, crusty. And it is a parallel ATA Western Digital 80 gig drive. All right, I took that out because I don't want to accidentally overwrite it while we're installing stuff. And now the CD-ROM drive swap, so we just take that out, slide in our SSD mounted in our adapter. This is a 16 gig drive with Windows 10. I'm going to plug it in and just try and install. Wow, I didn't actually expect it to get anywhere with this, but it's trying to boot Windows 10. That's great. Let's see what happens. Oh, there we go. Okay. This is kind of what I was expecting. So it says that it doesn't have a 64-bit processor. Intel Centrino, Pentium M, 32-bit. So yeah, this we would need a 32-bit version of Windows 10 in order for it to work. And pretty soon even that won't exist. You can go on Microsoft's website and get the Windows 10 Media Creation tool. And so you can launch that. We want to click Create Installation Media. And then we need to override this setting and set the architecture to 32-bit for our 32-bit system. And then I'm going to select ISO file because I will be able to keep the file and recreate multiple disks. All right, we've downloaded the file, plug in the flash drive, and then go and locate the installation ISO file. And I'm going to load up Rufus, which is a image tool. Don't need to update that. You want to make sure you only have your USB drive plugged in, and then go ahead and select the recently downloaded Windows installer, which is in the Documents folder, and then click Start. And it's going to erase everything on the flash drive and set it up as a USB bootable Windows 10 32-bit installer. And it finishes, and so pop out the drive. Let's see if it'll boot. Oops. We got to recreate the flash drive with a BIOS-based install. But that's not to worry. Just to do a BIOS-based, change the partition scheme to MBR, and then BIOS will be defaulted there. And then just create your disk again. Booyah! Let's see how far it gets. Alright, so this one is IRQL not less or equal. I'm a little frustrated, so why don't we just cheat? What if we install this SSD with this Windows 10 installation? I'm assuming you've seen a Windows 10 installation before. Alright, Windows is installed. I am going to do one thing first, and that is to do BCD edit, and I'm going to force... Oh, come on. Force enable PAE. There we go. BCD edit set PAE force enable. Successful. And now I'm just going to go ahead and shut it down.
Shutting down.
There we go. Holy cow. It's slow, but it freaking works. This is incredible. We have Windows 10 on an old crusty laptop. This keyboard doesn't even have a Windows key on it, and it's seen better days. So Control-Shift-Escape should bring up. What, did they disable that? Oh my, is it just that slow to bring up the start menu? Yeah, I think it is. Typing is difficult. Oh, there's two mice. I have asked too much of this computer all at once. I hit the start menu 16 times. The task manager is now multiple launch. I guess we'll give it a moment to relax. All right. So our processor is pretty much busy all the time, just sitting at the desktop. Memory, we're at 62%, so we can't really do a lot. Our disk utilization is not doing a whole lot. I think that we're going to struggle to use this machine in any significant way under Windows 10 with the current settings. There's not enough there. Like, I just clicked close. I'm waiting for it to... It'll get there eventually. It is absolutely possible to install Windows on a Thinkpad T42. You got to do some roundabout things, but it's absolutely possible to get the latest version of Windows 10 on this old crappy hardware. It is not an experience that I wish on anyone. And even with the fast SSD, it's really not a useful environment. Maybe there's some more tweaks that I don't know about that would get you closer. Let's move on to Debian. First thing you want to do is you want to go on the internets and find the 32-bit distribution that you're looking for. So I'm looking for a 32-bit Debian. And that means that it's going to be the i386. So let's download the i386. Whoa, that's a little blurry. And then we click on the downloader, and it'll download the net installer for us. And then once you've got that, launch Rufus, and make sure you've selected MBR and BIOS, and let it do the installation. Make sure that when your flash drive is plugged in, that it's the only flash drive. You don't accidentally go installing Debian on like your external hard drive. Unplug that right now. Select your image, go find your net install image and click start, and then take your now fresh, clean 32-bit Debian and plug it into your device. Let's boot this baby up. SanDisk. Yes, sir. We're going to do a graphical install. 28818 ATA1 SRST failed. Error number 16. So that can't be good. Good things come to those who wait. We haven't done anything special. We just clicked continue. Ooh. The touchpad is set in absolute mode. So up top right-hand corner, bottom left-hand corner, top right, bottom left, middle. It's kind of a neat feature. It's relative when you're moving it, but it's absolute when you've clicked. So it's kind of neat. Anywho. America. So this is a T42. Yeah, that's going to be your name, buddy. And then we're going to be on BobNet. And do the network stuff. Great. I'm going to put a password in. Beautiful. Oh no, what do we pick? I'm inclined to go XFCE, but I think at this point you should pause for some research. And there's a wonderful video by Neon Cypher, and it's called How to Run Linux on Old Slow Computers. And it's this guy with the penguin thing on there. I encourage you to check out his video. Specifically, at 2 minutes 38 seconds.
Next decision will be about a desktop environment. First, you have to decide if you need a desktop environment at all.
I'm not sure what your goals are for this environment, but mine are to be fast. And so I am going to choose, I think I'm going to go with LXDE just because it's the one that I've used before. XF, I guess I could install both and then select between the two. Taking my time. Ooh. All right, installation is complete. Let's see if it'll boot this time. Hey! Let's see if Debian10 is better than Windows 10. Let's load up a terminal. IPA. Yep, an IP. Great. Neo fetch. Booyah, baby! But it's running Debian 10 Buster, and it's got the 4.19 kernel. So that's pretty good. I think that this system is going to run a lot more smoothly. let's search for my videos. Wow, my most popular one is the password reset.
Download the zip file, and you want it to be the CD version of it because it contains an ISO file.
Great! It works well enough for you to watch my videos. I mean, what's not to like about that? So you thought you were getting out of here without a hardware teardown? Come on. We have to take this thing apart. Got to see what's inside, what's ticking. This actually holds a charge. So that's a captive screw inside of that. So let's see, we've got a... Ooh, that's crusty looking. That could cause issues. Got like this white crusty crap all over it. So I'm going to clean that up. Much better. So this is only a 512. So that means that there's 512 memory on board that system. Interesting. So first we're going to take off the keyboard. So here's a little trick for you. You get a piece of paper and you just kind of approximate where the screws are on the thing that you're taking apart. And then it's so much freaking easier to put back. All you got to do is just find the screw that lines up approximately from where you removed it from. Just punch it through the paper. Just got to be careful so it doesn't slide through and get lost. So I got 1, 2, 3, and we got 4. I think that's all of the keyboard things. Here's another trick for you. Get yourself a nice set of screwdrivers, but also if you have a small, come on, focus. If you've got a small neodymium magnet, you can magnetize the ends, but for those really low quality bits, they sometimes don't stick on there unless you have the magnet like really just on there. So just as an example, this will stick, but it sticks a heck of a lot better with the appropriate magnet. Just those 4 is enough to take the keyboard off. And here is the second location for memory. So this one is also a 512. So there's 2 locations. There's one that's user accessible from the bottom, and then there's one that's underneath the keyboard. It is PC2 5300. So it's, you know, it's older memory. And then we've got the actual processor chip here. Obviously the CD-ROM drive, or in this case my SSD. There's the graphics chip, which is shared on the same heat piping as the processor. This guy up here, I have a feeling that it does. That's actually the modem. Yeah, I think that's the modem. Oh, someone's been in here before, or it's been dropped. It's got some apprentice marks on it. Take off that touchpad. IBM part number 62P4249 from Mitsubishi Engineering Plastics. Anywho, yep, and there's the, wow, that's an interesting socket for the wireless chip there. It's kind of like a modified SODIMM slot. And then along the front here, you've got the speakers. So you got one right here, and then you've got one right here. This is focus. You got some dust over there. You got the PCMCIA slots over there, and there's 2 of those. And that cover right here is for the hard drive. Okay, so now you've completely seen the insides of the T42. You'll notice that there's actually no location up here for a web camera, but there is a component inside. That is an LED, and that's the Thinklight. Thinklight. And that was pretty common in the early models. And then right up top here, let's see, I don't see the contacts. Did they get rid of them? this model may not have them. In some of the models of the T4X series, it actually had a rubber panel right here, and this may just be covered by this little flexible plastic piece right here, but it had metal contacts. I have a feeling that it was a different FRU, and it had a Thinkpad camera that mounted on top, and it had like a green translucent appearance to it. The Thinkpad Ultra port was quite interesting. All right, let's put it back together. Well, bam! That's that. We installed Debian on a Thinkpad. Go do something fun.